In this video, we are going to cover exactly how you can source profitable wholesale suppliers to grow your Amazon FBA business. Let's jump right into it. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that are new, my name is Brad Sherman, seven-figure seller, and on this channel, we explore tips, strategies, and experiences that I have had that will help you start and scale up your Amazon FBA business. In this video, I want to answer everyone's question, which is how to source profitable wholesale suppliers. It's everybody's question because in the beginning, everybody struggles how to get their hands on profitable inventory. And we've covered in other videos exactly how to source through screen shares and the exact processes we've used. So if you guys haven't seen my how to source profitable wholesale suppliers video, I've linked it up above for you to check out. Before we jump into it, if you guys do enjoy these videos, make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button and notification bell as well to stay up to date on all future content. And if you guys haven't seen the other videos on the channel, make sure to scroll through the channel and check those videos out because we go into all kinds of detail about how to source profitable suppliers, how to contact those suppliers, and then ship your products into Amazon. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok under Operation AMZ. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. So the first thing that you have to recognize when you are sourcing for Amazon FBA wholesale is that you need to identify your source. And what that means with wholesale is you need to determine if you are going to be buying from distributors or directly from brands. What's the difference? So purchasing from a distributor means that you are purchasing from another business that is sourcing the products from the brand or manufacturer. Whereas when you're purchasing from brands, you're actually purchasing those products directly from the manufacturer. So which is the right way of sourcing? Well, neither is the right way of sourcing, but they both require different approaches. And that's what I want to break down in this video. For our business, we've sold over $4.5 million last year in sales, primarily using the brand direct method. So why did we choose to focus on working with brands rather than distributors? Well, there's a bunch of benefits to working with brands directly, which we'll go into later in the video. But in determining the differences between distributors and brands, it's very simple. With distributors, you are going to be focused on a few different things. Number one is volume. So with distributors, you have to recognize that they carry possibly thousands and thousands of different brands in their catalog. And what that means is that if you secure a wholesale account with a distributor, the cost that you are going to pay for your products, the purchase price of your inventory, is going to be predicated on the volume that you are purchasing. Meaning, as your quantity purchased goes up, your price goes down. And that's the biggest principle with distributors because distributors don't maintain a vested interest in the brands that they carry. They carry thousands of brands. So in order for you to stand out with probably your sales rep at that distributor, you need to be purchasing in volume because at the end of the day, distributors oftentimes will open up anyone that inquires for a wholesale account as long as you maintain valid business licenses and show that you're a legitimate business, right? But with brands, it's a little bit different. Jump over here. Brands are focused on different things than distributors because they have this vested interest. So with brands, it's going to require a much different approach than if you were to source products from a distributor. So what does this mean, right? Vested interest. A vested interest means exactly what it says. The brand cares about the future direction of their brand on all platforms, not just Amazon, but they care about the future direction. And because of that, you need to show that brand that you care too. And that's the biggest challenge with working with brands. So with many brands, if you inquire to open a wholesale account, you're going to get rejected. But with distributors, if you inquire to open a wholesale account, there's a very good chance that you can get that account on day one. But you might get a price list from that distributor and the products are just not going to be profitable. That's where you have to build a relationship with your sales rep and start purchasing in volume in order to get your hands on profitable inventory. So I want to go into exactly what we say when we contact brands versus when we were to contact the distributor. The first thing that you have to recognize is that this all starts with sourcing, right? If you're not sourcing the right kinds of companies, you're never going to be closing profitable wholesale accounts. So the first thing is, let's say we've identified a product that is of interest and maybe we're using Smart Scout or reverse sourcing on Amazon or we're sourcing another seller's store, but we've identified a brand that is potentially of interest. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the brand's website and go to the Contact Us tab and then find the phone number and the email address. From here, we're gonna populate that in the spreadsheet and then go to make a phone call to that brand. Now, a lot of times when you contact that brand and you tell them that you're interested in opening a wholesale account, they are going to tell you no, right? And the degree to which they say no is going to determine if we are able to get that account, if it's a no way we're not, or if we actually have to purchase from a distributor, right? So you might inquire with a brand first and end up buying from a distributor. And we're gonna get into that here in this video. But when you tell the brand you're interested in opening a wholesale account, the first thing they are going to say is what kind of business are you or where do you intend to sell the products? And then what you're going to tell them is that you're going to say you are an e-commerce company. You're gonna tell them the location that you're in to give them legitimacy. And when you contact the brand, you are going to say exactly this. We are an e-commerce company. We stock and ship products to our blank location. We have our own website and we do sell on Amazon. Can you tell me more about how you're working with e-commerce businesses? Now, notice what I did, right? I said, we do sell on Amazon, but right after I said we sell on Amazon, I immediately, without hesitation, deflected that conversation away from the word Amazon and put the ball in their court for them to open up and start telling me about how they're handling the e-commerce space. What this enables is it enables them to start talking. And then from here, when they start talking, you're going to start to ask them calibrated questions and peel back the layers of the onion. This is going to help you understand what their position is if they are a yes and they're going to give you a wholesale account right away, in which case you need to do no sales or convincing whatsoever, or if they're completely a hard no and maybe they're just flat out only working with brick and mortar stores or licensed physicians, or maybe you have to turn around and ask them about distributors, right? But maybe they're somewhere in the middle. And if they're somewhere in the middle, that means they're wishy-washy and they aren't certain in the direction of their brand on Amazon. And that's one that you can probably sway to a yes. So let's play out 3 different examples. So you've told them that you're an e-commerce company, you have your own website, you do sell on Amazon, and then you ask them about how they're handling e-commerce. And their response is, we sell to e-commerce companies. And from here, you just want to get the account right away. So don't even bother with convincing brands if they're going to give you a wholesale price list right off the bat. There's no reason to sell them on anything because they just said yes, and your main goal should be to get that price list and determine if the products are profitable to then put those products into inventory and sell them on Amazon. With scenario number 2, let's say they're a total no, right? It's a hard and steadfast no, we're not interested in working with you. Maybe they require brick and mortar stores or licensed physicians, things of that nature. But sometimes you'll get a no and they'll say, we have distribution partners, right? We already have distribution in place. And if they do that, you want to inquire further. So from here, if they say no, you can then ask them to send you a list of authorized distributors. And from here, you can get a list of distributors that you can then purchase that inventory from that already have an existing relationship with the brand. So these distributors have already done all of the legwork in setting up an account with the brand, building a long-term relationship with them so that all you have to do is purchase from that distributor. Scenario number 3 is if the brand is not sure of their answer. And the only way to gauge this is by making a phone call to the brand and hearing tonality, right? Because if you could hear tonality and the way the person is saying it, you can determine if you can convince them into a yes or if it's gonna end up being a no. So if the brand is wishy-washy about their answer, what do you say next? Well, you have to ask them questions, right? You have to learn information from them and understand why they might not be in working with you. So this means just asking the simple question of why, right? Getting a gauge on why the brand is not open to working with e-commerce or Amazon will help you set up a pitch for value props later on. So what are some value props that you can pitch a brand? Well, here's the value props that we pitch. Listing optimization. And what is listing optimization? Things like SEO, building content around the listing. We can pitch them advertising. Does the brand maintain an advertising presence on Amazon? Are there competitors running ads on their product listings? These are all different value props that you can pitch a brand, right? Why? Because they have that vested interest in the success of the company. Whereas with the distributor, it's not going to work to pitch this stuff because they likely don't maintain a vested interest in the brand. So again, we talk about distributors in that volume. You need to be buying in high volume quantities in order to make money selling those products. Whereas with brands, the primary difference is that they're not just going to take your money. You have to show some sort of strategic approach in working with the brand. So we covered the differences between distributors and brands and how to reach out to both of them. What's even more important is that you are sourcing the right kinds of companies. So when we source profitable wholesale suppliers, we use two key methods. Number one is Smart Scout, and number two is storefront stalking. With Smart Scout, we are setting a filter criteria of anywhere between $15,000 in monthly revenue to $300,000 in monthly revenue. And the reason we're doing this is because we are casting a wide enough net to find small to medium size brands. What does small to medium size brands mean? Well, it means that the revenue is substantial to where we can make a lot of money selling their products on Amazon, but the size of the company, the operations of the company is small to medium size. Meaning when we contact that brand, we can either get an owner or an executive decision maker on the phone in order to convince them to sell us their products and be their brand representative on Amazon. Now, that is one approach to sourcing brands. You can also take the approach of selling big name brands, but then you're gonna have to find a distributor. I would recommend, as a beginner Amazon seller, sourcing small to medium sized brands. And if you're having a hard time closing those accounts with the brand directly, just ask them about purchasing from a distributor. Or better yet, just go right to their website, and many brands will have a list of distributors, and a lot of brands will actually have a supplier locator on their website where you can find a distributor in your local area. The first wholesale account that I ever got was with a local distributor about a half a mile up the road from my house. So when you're first starting, the number one goal should just be to get products in your inventory so that you can start making money selling on Amazon. And the best way to do this is by sourcing through Smart Scout and storefront stalking. So looking at other successful Amazon sellers' stores, seeing the products that they are selling, and then sourcing those products to then contact the brand. From here, accumulate a list of anywhere between 50 and 100 different brands, contact those brands directly, or inquire with a distributor of those brands, and do that in volume. Amazon Wholesale is a volume game, so if you're not contacting at least 100 companies a week, especially in the early stages, you are not going to be closing accounts. And as you get better at contacting those brands, your closure rate is going to get higher and higher. There are two primary parts to wholesale, which is sourcing and outreach. And if you keep repeating those two parts over and over again, you are going to be successful in selling on Amazon. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all future content. And if you guys haven't checked out the other videos on the channel where we cover how to source profitable suppliers, contacting those suppliers, and shipping your products into Amazon, make sure to check those videos out because we go into detail on all of that. Make sure to check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok under Operation AMZ. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you next time.